Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I thought we'd do a bit of a video just of what's going on in the garage, a few jobs that are coming in and out. Nothing in crazy detail, just cover a few juicy jobs we're doing. First of all, we've got a C63 in. Problem with this car is, well, first of all, it's a facelift C63, so it's about 14 plates, something like that. It has the MCT gearbox in it, which is actually like a multi-clutch system rather than a torque converter. When the car goes into gear, it just stalls. The problem with it is the clutch itself. It's like it's just completely failed and it's not got its bite point. Unfortunately, the clutch pack is on back order with Mercedes. We've had this car for 3 weeks already and they have placed an order. Even though they're on back order, you have to place an order to then get that order processed so you can get a build / delivery date. At the moment, they're saying it's going to take 4 months. So this car could be off the road for 4 months. It could be longer. You could get towards that date and they extend the date. So not good. Not good news for this car at all. Or me, or the customer. Next up, we have already finished this car. So kind of jumping ahead, but I thought I'd try and show you this car because it's quite a rare car. It's E55 W210 Estate, or wagon if you're American. Just on under 100,000 miles. It's a new customer to us. He's travelled quite far to get here. He brought it to us. He's just purchased it. He wanted a service and a health check, but obviously you get a health check with a service. So we did service as required, and he had a bad brake judder when he was applying the brakes going down the motorway. If you don't know what that is, it's when the discs are warped, it makes your steering wheel vibrate when you press the brake. So we fitted new genuine disc and pads on the front to cure that. On the health check, we found a couple of bits that were wrong with it. A couple of common items actually on 210 models, so we'll get it on the ramp and show you what we found. And this is ready for collection. New anti-roll bar links. Used to be a really common fault on 210s, both sides. New bottom ball joints, again, is really common, both sides. Also replaced front discs and pads. The front discs were warped when you was driving down the road and applied the brake pedal. He's getting a really bad vibration. You can see it's had new discs. Nice little AMG stamp on the disc. All genuine parts. Got a W205 C-Class in. We've got collision prevention assist plus in operative on the dashboard. Let's go and see what fault codes we've got on this one and see what's going on. Okay, codes we've got: current vehicle identification number incorrect or not present. This is quite a common fault on this model, and the collision assist control unit loses its VIN number, so you have to update the software on it. Why it does that, I don't know. As you can see, software control unit is obsolete, SCN coding required. So quite a simple fix for this car, for this customer, so no parts required. It's a software and coding issue. I am just logging in to the server. It uses face recognition, Face ID on my phone, authenticated, and that will allow me to program the car. This is why this diagnostic machine is so expensive. Face ID to program a car. Right, that's this one done. Quite a simple, easy fix if you've got the correct equipment. Not generic diagnostics machines would not be able to do that job. So that's that done. Common fault fixed. Right, we've got a CLA 45 AMG in for an A service. Instantly getting the car in for routine service. We'll show you what faults we've got on the dash. ABS currently unavailable. 4MATIC currently unavailable. We've got a engine management light. I'll just start it up. Engine management lights on. Collision prevention assist inoperative. A service overdue by 403 days. So that's not a great start. Obviously car's booked in for service. Obviously we need diagnostics and investigation, so we need to get authorization for that. 400 days overdue a service is not good on your 45 AMG or any car. We'll get the health check done, we'll try and get some diagnostics authorised, and we'll also show you what we found. Right, we've done, well, Nathan's done the health check. I've not done the health check. Nathan's done the health check. So well done, Nathan. I've done the diagnostics. We've got a thermostat issue, which there's a bit of a procedure to that without going too much in detail. First thing you've got to do is update the software for this thermostat fault. If the fault reoccurs, then we need to process further into it. For our collision assist, parking brake fault, 4MATIC fault, we've got a rear ABS sensor fault. Again, another common fault on these. And Mercedes have just got back to us to say that they're on major back order. So you'll see in these videos how much difficulty we have getting parts. So that's not good. So I don't know how long it'll take to get a sensor for that. Nathan's done the health check. He's found that we need... Yeah, we're just doing a video, mate, while you weren't doing that.
Okay.
Do you want it back? We'll be 2 minutes.
Yeah, please, when you're with it.
Paula's not happy that we've stole the paperwork. It's obviously 400 days overdue a service, so it was due an A. It then should have been due a B 6 months ago, and then it would be on another A now.
Yeah.
So we've got to recommend upgrading to a B. Spark plugs need replacing. 4 plugs. Gearbox service, which is underneath the airbox, needs replacing, servicing. On these, every A service, you're supposed to replace the differential oil. Every A service, so that needs doing as well. Both front tyres are extremely bald. So
that one's even worse than that.
So we need 2 front tyres. This is what happens when you don't stick to the schedule. The amount of list of jobs you need doing start adding up. So we'll see what he wants to do, and we'll hopefully get back to you. We've got a new shape A-Class in. It's having a gearbox service. This is a drain and fill gearbox. There's no filters. So you'd think you'd save money because there's no filters and less work. However, Mercedes decided to treble the price of the oil, so it works out the same price as the older gearbox with filters. Just draining it straight into a measuring jug so I can measure what comes out. 3.5 litres have come out so far. I'm sure it says it takes 4.5.
You should fill it up from the top, don't you?
I'm just carrying out the bleed procedure on the gearbox to get the fluid level correct. 3.5 litres came out. Mercedes workshop information says 4.5 should go in, so it'll be interesting to see how much goes in. Whilst I'm waiting for it to warm up, I'm just checking over the vehicle, and we've got airbag lights on in the car. Which has raised a bit of suspicion. There's been no mention of it on the booking, so I've just had a quick glance around the car and I can see that the car has been in an accident. Something's going on there, not something I'll be getting involved in. So back on the CLA 45, customer has approved diff oil. We are going to service the gearbox, and he's authorised the spark plugs and the software update for his thermostat fault. Unfortunately, we cannot get a rear ABS sensor for the car. It's on factory back order with no delivery date. that could be 6 to 12 months before we could get that part. We just don't know. These are some of the things we face. Such a simple part, common fault, and we just can't get one. Also, upon removing the differential sump plug, it snapped. So we're going to show you things that go wrong as well, because it never goes perfect. No big deal. Obviously went to the dealer. It's quite a common thing for snapping. Got a bit of a weak spot, to be honest. So I went to the dealer to pick up a new one. They had one in stock, and I was in the queue picking it up, and there was a guy in front of me that had done exactly the same thing, and he bought the last one. So now we've had to contact the customer, tell him his car's not going to be ready tonight. We've had to lend him one of our hire cars for the night, so he's without his car because of that tiny little issue. It's nobody's fault, just one of them things. Unfortunately, I didn't have one in stock. I'm going to make a point of stocking them now. So we are going to show you things that go wrong as well, because it doesn't run smoothly. Mid-afternoon, I had an important meeting that I had to go to, so while the boys were waiting for me, I asked them if they'd clean the floor in preparation for the afternoon's work, and this is what happened. Nathan's also just finished his first aid course at college, so he's a qualified first aider, and as you can see, it came into good practice for him. I know. I was crying in there.
He loved it, man.
Right, we've got a CLS in, we've got an air mass sensor fault, and we've got a passenger seat occupancy sensor fault. So we've just done some testing with the multimeter. We've tested all the signals to the air mass sensor, 5 volt supply, 12 volt supply, earth, everything's good. So we need a full air mass sensor. Unfortunately, you cannot buy the sensor on its own. You've got to buy the full thing, which replaces both of them. We've also got a passenger seat fault, so we've got an airbag light on the dash. Basically, it's not detecting if somebody's sat in the car or not, so we've got an airbag light on. To confirm that we've got a seat pad fault, we have plugged in an emulator, which you can see on the floor. So I've plugged that into the system. That is a great little diagnostic tool to just confirm that's at fault. So I'll take you back round to the diagnostics. We can now see that that fault has gone to stored, where it was current before. So those emulators are a great way of just confirming that that's what's wrong with it. So we need a full air mass unit, and we need a passenger seat pad. So we'd have to take the seat out, take the leather off, put a new pad in, put it all back together. So we'll see what the customer wants to do about this one and get it done. Next up, we have got a W203 old C-Class with, well, it's actually a C280, which is quite unusual. It's got the 272 V6 engine in it. We've got an intermittent engine management light. We've run some diagnostics and done some testing, and we have a fault with camshaft adjustment solenoid, which is quite a common fault on these 272 engines. We've inspected the solenoids. We've got a fault with one, but we're going to recommend to replace the set. One being the parts have been revised, they've got a new part number, they have been modified slightly. And 2, under inspection, another 2 have started to leak oil a bit. So we're just going to recommend the set. That way he's got 4 of the latest solenoids fitted to the car, and we're curing a couple of leaks on the other. So we'll contact the customer, see if we can get authorization to replace the set. Obviously we will give him the option of one or the set. Get those done, get it back out the door. We are just doing a service on 171 SLK. We've done an inspection on it, and we've got a crack in the exhaust. You can see there. Basically, we've started cleaning it up. Mercedes do a repair piece which you can replace from here to here. Give the customer the option. We can either re-weld where the crack is, or we can get the repair piece. The exhaust is 282. 2 clamps at £40 each, plus a seal, some bolts and stuff. So you'd be looking at £500 in parts alone, £500 in parts plus labour. So we've offered to weld it for a fraction of the price and see how we get some of that, hopefully save him some money. Here we've got a CL500. Customer has complained of gearbox slipping. I can confirm I've just took it on a road test and the gearbox is slipping quite badly. Also the coolant light is on the dashboard. Now this car has had previous gearbox work. Oh, excuse me. This car has had previous gearbox work, so I was a little bit suspicious about this one. It's a new car to me. It's a new customer. When cars come in for faults like this, I generally don't like it because when we service a car, we look after the car. We really get to know the car. We know how the car drives. We have a good relationship with the customer. And when somebody owns a car and they take it to other garages for all service work and then they come to me for the problem work, it always makes me raise suspicion just because I don't know the background of the car. So gearbox is slipping quite badly. Done some basic tests, some basic diagnostics tests, and I'll show you what we found. So first thing we did was check the coolant level, and this is what we found in the coolant bottle. It's full of oil. I'm just gonna stick a tissue in there to show you. So there you can see what's inside the header tank. Straight away that's raised suspicion that we've got a failed radiator. The radiator is not only the radiator cooling for the coolant, it's also the gearbox cooler. So next thing we did was put it on the ramp and take a sample of gearbox fluid, and that's what's come out. Looks like a chocolate milkshake. That should be red, and when I say red, it's like raspberry sauce red. So we've definitely got a radiator failure which has contaminated gearbox fluid and vice versa. First thing that needs to be done is the radiator needs to be replaced, and then it needs to go and have the gearbox rebuilt. Gave the customer a quote for radiator replacement and they declined to getting it done somewhere else cheaper. It's also got ABS issues, this car. We had a look into that, did some diagnostics. So this car will be a diagnosis, an investigation fee, and being returned. So this happens now and again. If anyone's interested, we could even do a video of customer declined jobs, because you'll be surprised at some of the stuff that gets declined, as in dangerous stuff. Part this one back up, diagnosis and investigation fee. Some people, when they decline work, think that they then don't have to pay for what work we have done. This customer was happy to pay, but other customers think they don't need to pay because they've said no. We charge by the hour and you get charged for how long we've looked at your car. If I didn't do that, we'd be working for nothing, and you'll be surprised at how many jobs get turned away. So part this one back up, on to the next one. Back in the CLS, customer has authorised work. We've got the parts in. Good customer actually, he's a really good customer, so I'm not surprised. We've looked after this car for a long time. Keeps on top of it, it's a really clean car. So we'll get the air mass sensor fitted. We'll show you the difference in the actual values on the diagnostics before and after. It's a simple job to do, but we'll show you anyway. Before I fit the air mass sensor, I'm just going to show you that other ways we save customers money. So this part is £865. Now this part is also available as a remanufactured part. Again, it's direct from Mercedes. They do remanufactured, you get the same warranty, but it's cheaper for the customer, and we have managed to get him one of them. So this part is 865 plus VAT, pretty much £1,000. We've managed to get him a reconditioned one for 692, so that's a good 150 quid saving. It's better than nothing. It's still not great that this part's so expensive and you can't buy the sensors separately, but we do go out of our way to try and save people money. I'll show you the section. Some people will say yes you can, yes you can. Well, I'll show you. There's the section that we would have liked, and red means not available, so we cannot buy that. So next best option was a full unit on a reconditioned basis. So it's a bit of a saving for the customer. So quick test before we fit the new one. Here you can see we're registering absolutely nothing on the old sensor. So I'm just gonna unplug and plug that in to the new one just before fitment. And as you can see, we've now got a good value. So that's just good confirmation that that old sensor is completely dead. New air mass sensor all fitted. Last thing to do is code it in. You've got to code it in and reset adaptations. There we go. No codes, all coded in. Time for a road test, job done. The CLK behind me, we've welded up the exhaust, saved the customer about 600 quid there. So that's now all done, ready to go. Okay, that's the 203 C-Class done. Customer authorised us to replace all 4 sensors. Quite a nice car this, in really good condition. It's only done 75,000 miles. It's a nice one. There's not many nice ones of these left on the road, to be honest. It's had a service as well. Pretty clean bill of health. He really looks after it. This car, he does all our recommendations, to be honest. So that's another one. Quick bit of CCTV footage of Paula falling off the chair while she's on the phone to a customer. Can't beat some CCTV, can you? So last day of the week, it's bank holiday weekend this weekend. Paula is off today, so I'm stuck in the office. We had a bit of a problem yesterday. We had a nice little A-class in for service and MOT. Failed its MOT on a tyre. So we had to keep the car overnight for the customer to order the tyre in and get it fitted. We don't fit tyres, so we were relying on the MOT station. The tyre came in on Thursday and they've ordered the wrong tyre. So then we've then had to ring the customer back again and tell him the bad news, and we've kept the car another day. Such a simple thing, service MOT on a Wednesday, and we've now had the car 3 days. But I said I was going to show you the things that go wrong as well. It's not always plain sailing. So we'll get that done, get that boxed off. Right, that concludes, what should we call it, this week at the garage. This week at the garage vlog. A little bit different. It's not, obviously I can't show in depth all the repairs on that style of video. But I'm hoping if you guys like it, give us a like and a thumbs up and a comment and let us know, because we could do this every week. Well, I say every week, I'll try and do it on a weekly basis. So it'd be like an additional video as well as an in-depth video. I think it gives everyone a good idea of what's going on. Like I say, hopefully you liked it. Subscribe, like, comment, let us know if you'd like us to keep this up. The repairs and stuff we've shown is a tiny portion of the cars that come in. We do about 20 to 30 cars a week. I've tried my best to show you bits and bobs, and hopefully you enjoy it. See you on the next one.